Uncle Sam's channel, where today we're going to be going over the highlights of what's happening right here in the American Revolution. But first, a word from our sponsors. Take it away, please.
We have no sponsors. Thank you. And according to my notes,
After the French and Indian War, the proclamation of 1763 occurred, which kept them from moving west of the Appalachian Mountains, which the colonists angered them because they wanted to settle in more places. But, to be fair to the king, it was a smart idea because the Indians were not taking it too friendly towards us. And so, there's been a little protest going on, and we're gonna go check on it. Taxation without representation. Taxation without representation. Sir, would you explain what the Sugar and Stamp Act is?
well, the Sugar Act is an extra tax on our sugar and molasses. And the Stamp Act is a tax on our every single papers. And we're not even knowing where the tax goes. The king will not give us any consent. And that's just taxation without representation.
And does this make you upset?
I'm very upset.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Taxation without representation.
Well, that was interesting nonetheless. We're going to be right back, but right now, look at sports.
Take it away.
Well, for our football team, we really need a better one. Okay, anyway, there have been some boycotts coming around, and we're going to see what that's all about. Can you explain your reasoning on these boycotts?
Well, mate, we're on this idea that we will get every single colony to boycott their products. That's why it's bad for business for them, and they'll start noticing. And that's what will get them. They'll be forced to repeal the taxations. And in return, hopefully we'll get our liberties back. Now, if you excuse me, mate, all sons of liberty to go to. So. Good day, sir.
And a very smart plan indeed. Hold on, I got something here. Oh, we have something very serious here. Check it out. About to see is a colonist massacre. Your discretion advised.
Coming off.
Reports say that 5 died and many more were injured. Alright. We're gonna head over to the Boston Tea Party, so come and take a look.
Excuse me, sir, but what are you doing?
Well, you see, we're getting rid of the tea. It's very patriotic, see? We're gonna get a little bit of that'll show them dirty British.
We're gonna show them what for.
And you, sir. I'm doing my part too by getting rid of the tea. It's fantastic and very patriotic of you, sir. And are you helping out too? Neat. Very patriotic indeed. And we have something that goes along with this subject. Please take a look.
Human, what are the sons and daughters of liberty?
Well, my dear boy, you see, the Sons and Daughters of Liberty are a group of people that try to end the tyranny of Great Britain, you see? So they talk politics and develop plots to end the tyranny.
Wow, that's cool.
Yes.
I'm hungry.
And so, my dear boy, they were the American patriots. Young, old, fat, skinny, it don't matter. They were patriots. They were the Sons and Daughters of Liberty.
Oh, we have more on the Boston Massacre situation. There you go.
Stop! We thought they were threats. Come on, John Anderson.
And now it's for that time again. Welcome everybody to Brain Drain, where we have one of our casts here to review. So, come on out.
Thank you, sir.
And according to my notes, began the proclamation of 1763, but after the French and Indian War, the kingdom got into debt. So which then created the Sugar and Stamp Act, which the colonists obviously did not like, so they began to boycott it. They repealed their taxations, without representation, by the way. Then began the Tea Party, which the British did not like, which began to protest to the massacre, and which eventually led to the Club of Sons and Daughters of Liberty. Howdy! Great job! You win! What I win? A sponsorship!
No.
Well, anyway, if you were wondering why did patriots become patriots? Well, simply put, my friend, you see, we felt that we weren't being treated fairly and that we were being heavily taxed on without any say or representation of where it was going. We felt it was restricting our liberties. And the loyalists are the people that want to stay under British control. Or our citizens. And some are afraid to go against it. So, it's understandable, but meh. But we do have our flaws, like lack of cannons, clothes, gunpowder. We have untrained soldiers, and most of our army is just made up of militia and farmers. But good thing for us, they have some flaws as well. Such as their news and supplies become delayed. And they have no navy. Thank you, France! And just like us, they do have allies. They have about 30,000 Hessians. The Hessians are German troops that are hired by the British. They are drawn from the German state Hesse-Kassel.
The guerrilla warfare is an irregular warfare where they have small groups performing some military tasks, usually unique, like ambushes, sabotage, raids, and they have better mobility. And it also makes us very unpredictable.
That would be correct.
Alright, we are now going to be taking calls, so please call us. Oh, we have one already. And it is King George himself. Let's take a look at this one. You are on. Thank you, but no deal. Well, we're not really listening to you anymore, King George. Because we are patriots.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
You're gone. Okay. For our next caller, we have somebody from West Newbury, Massachusetts. You are on.
What is our allies doing to help us in this war?
Well, I'm very glad you asked.
Well, the French and Spanish helped out quite a bit, mostly the French. The French helped us by providing supplies and soldiers. And supplies such as cannons, clothing, and gunpowder, and a few soldiers that shaped our army. For example, Frederick Wilhelm von Steuben created the soldiers to be better with guns and made camps more sanitary. Oh, and the French gave us a navy too. They joined us for personal gain and for what we believed in. Thank you.
And now it's time for our next caller from Bolivar. We'll see.
Hello, BMS is the best. Don't forget it.
Okay, we're done taking calls now. Alright, now we're going to be very soon going into Valley Forge. How's the weather over there?
It's cold.
Can you please explain to us what the hardships are and what it's transforming our army into?
Yeah.
Cool.
Here at Valley Forge, it is no picnic. There is hardly anything to eat. There's a total lack of clothes, blankets, and food. And the lack of shoes is making our soldiers bleed out in the snow. And there's a disease spread around here too. Smallpox, typhoid fever, pneumonia, and all the food that are consisted of is vinegar and rice. messieurs and mademoiselles, and welcome to this cooking segment, where today we are going to be making fire cakes. Now, what you need is a pan. Then you get some flour. You put it into the pan. And then next, you add some butter. Add some water. And then you put it in the oven, or substitute and open fire. And then you're done. It appears that General Washington is getting desperate for his men from deserting. So, he is making punishment by flashing and firing squads. But here's a good thing. General Frederick von Steven has joined and is now training them, and now the troops are beginning to regain their confidence. So, we are getting ready to fight the British. Thank you.
The British tried protecting themselves by encircling the town with redoubts to keep the Allies' artillery at a distance from town. Allies captured the British redoubts and brought the artillery closer to the town's defense. American and French cannons bombarded Yorktown, turning buildings into rubble. Cornwallis surrendered his force of 8,000 on October 19, 1781. A large French fleet from the West Indies blocked Chesapeake Bay. They prevented British ships from reaching Yorktown and delivering supplies, and preventing the British in Yorktown from escaping. And there's what happened on the scene. Wonderful news. It is confirmed. The Battle of Saratoga is the turning point in the American Revolution. So far, about 5,895 British and Hessian troops surrendered arms. Saratoga is the deciding victory between the American and the British. We're free! Alright, now we're going to look over some stuff. The cost of war. France and Great Britain spent 1.3 billion livres and 250 million pounds, or $333,237,500 US dollars respectively. And the US spent 400 million in wages for its troops. And what did we gain from the Treaty of Paris? We gained Britain's recognition for our independence. And any ideals that emerged is our Declaration of Independence. Well, that was either the world's shortest war or the world's longest newscast. Either way, thank you for coming here, and thank you for joining us. Good night.
Hello, everybody. We would just like to give a huge thank you to Kinley for working behind the scenes. She was camera shy, but I convinced her to do this much, so that's pretty good. Diamond's over here. So, a big thank you